Hi. So I just wanted to share how I actually like to dial a tone in Linux using plugins and which plugins I use and so on. So what I have here is Carla. It's a kind of like a plugin host application. So all the plugins that I put here, I can also use them in Ardour and so on. And what we see here now is my sound card. So basically the system capture and the system playback, that's my sound card. So, and the reason I have so many inputs and outputs is because I have the Scarlett 18920. So if you have like, let's say like Scarlett Solo or those, then you know everything works the same, but you just have less channels. So Carla, I love this because you can just like root stuff. So it's so authentic, you know, and nice. So you can just put like from this input I wanted to put on that output on or that plugin and so on. So it's just like really nice. Other things to know here. So obviously at the moment I'm recording. So in Linux there's two different sound systems. There's the Jack sound system, which is the one that you can route things like this, but then there's also the Pulse Audio, which is like all the normal applications, I would say. So this is like the normal application sound system. This is the output of that. So if I play something, let's say in like a backing track on YouTube or something like that, it comes out stereo from this one. And on the other hand, if I record something like now I record with OBS, this whole thing, this one, the jack source here is kind of like the microphone for that system. So you guys hear whatever I put here and yeah, so on. I'm just using here like the stereo routing block just with a straight bypass mode, just so that I can like easier route everything into that. And here on my output system, I have the playback channels 7 and 8. So obviously my headset. I would have my main monitors on playback 1 and 2 and so on. But yeah, that's all just like the stuff around this everything. Anyway, let's get started with obviously here's a guitar. It's plugged into the low impedance instrument channel, which would be the capture channel 1 of my my sound card. So if I just like route this to the left channel here, you should actually be able to hear it on my guitar on the left channel, and I can also route it to the right channel as well. So now it comes out like a from the both channels. So that's how it works here. And what I like to use when I do my tone or try to dial my tone is something called the GxPlugins. And the GxPlugins are made by this guy Brummer 10, or at least owned or something. I believe that the same guy is also very much involved with GuitarHacks, so, and maybe that's why they are called GxPlugins. Maybe it's like reference to GuitarHacks. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, it might be that these are actually already included if you have like Ubuntu Studio. I'm not sure if they are included in Ubuntu Studio, but if not, just go to this GitHub page. And yeah, it does require some level of understanding with Linux, but if you're using that, I'm sure you can handle that. Anyway, so there's like an plugin summary here, everything what it has, and also the pictures of the GUIs of each of these plugins. And yeah, they're great. Totally recommend. My version is what I'm having here, 20.04 Ubuntu Studio, and yeah, it's in Finnish if you wonder about the language. Okay, so let's just start by adding an amplifier, and I would use. I found that the GxCreamMachine is something that I like when I try to get the tone. So I just added it here, and when I add it here, it also goes here to the rack. And you kind of need to use both. You know, here I do here the. I just like to see where my channel, kind of like the signal chain goes from here. So I will do that first. So I will route my guitar input to the amplifier and the amplifier output to the stereo routing. And then I will go to the rack and do this setting, this gear icon here. When I click that one, it opens whatever settings this plugin has. And these plugins, this GX plugins, I think almost all, if not all, they have this GUI that is like really nice. So you can really like you know, use this like authentically, I guess. Anyway, so it's now rooted. Well, let's see how this amplifier sounds. And yeah, it's kind of loud. I will put that a little bit down. Sorry for that. But yeah, it's ridiculously bad. Yeah, it's really bad. But if it's just, you know, dial it a little bit, let's put like the gain high and volume a little bit down. Maybe, I don't know, just some adjustment. You know, it kind of starts to sound like something that could go somewhere, but anyway, what we are obviously missing is this is just the amplifier, so we are not even having any kind of cabinet here yet. And for the cabinet, I'm using actually IR, so impulse responses. And in order to use impulse response in Linux or on this kind of system, you need to use Convolution plugin. Convolution is this mathematical operation that is done for the signal. So LV2 Convolution, I use mono to stereo, so I can get like the mono signal of my amp into a stereo signal that I can then just, you know, route out here. And for the convolution, or for the, you know, impulse responses, you probably have heard of them. If not, Google what they are. But anyway, it's like the combination of the cabinet and the microphone placement and so on that someone has just recorded, and that can basically mimic that setup. So they're like, there's a lot of like paid ones, but also there exist like free ones that you can just find if you Google. And I found something called where's my ERs? IR packs, GuitarHack impulses. At least this is something that I found to be free. So I'm just using like you know, one of these. I'm just not going too deep into this. You can just, you know, try. They make the sound slightly different each and so on. Anyway, I will use like, let's say like this between one. So whenever I load that one, now I should have my. It's a little bit more. The whole sound starts to sound more like it actually comes out of a some sort of amplifier. Maybe not like perfect, but now it actually sounds like it would come out of an amplifier. Next thing that I notice when I play is that it's kind of, I don't know, muffy, you know, muddy, I guess, the sound. So whenever sounds muddy, I would use a booster. So I use GxBooster to get rid of that muddiness. And obviously before the amplifier, GxBooster there, and then again open the GUI for that. And let's boost. Yeah, so now I can hear it crackling a little bit, so something is too loud, so I need to go here and see the levels. So definitely the booster is like the output signal is going on red here, so I will just put that until we are on a good zone. Still a little bit. Yeah, I guess that's like. So yeah, still kind of like not my favorite sound or anything, but the next thing that I would probably do is I kind of hear the noise already, so maybe we can get rid of the noise just using a noise gate. Let's just put that. So there's something called ZamGate. I use that. There are a lot of different gates here, but for some reason I'm just using this ZamGate. And obviously the gate comes before anything else. just put it here. So now it's connected, and we already got rid of the noise. Let's just open up the GUI for that one as well. So now we have the gate, we have the booster, and we have the amplifier. And let's see. Yeah, so it's still there. So depending if this would be like a really tight rhythm guitar, obviously I could pull up the threshold quite a lot, because you know this is already the level that I would like to cut out. But if I'm now looking for a lead guitar, I don't want to lose the dynamics of the so I just want to get rid of the noise and not the dynamics of my playing. So yeah, I think that's perfect at the moment. Next thing I would use here is I want to definitely make the distortion a little bit better, or actually the overdrive a little bit, you know, more, I don't know, more mean, I guess. So for that, I like to use the GxSD. So the SD1 and SD2 lead, I think they are based on the Boss overdrives. And anyway, SD2 lead, I will put that one after the booster. Like that. And again, open the GUI. Like that. Now we got this mean looking nice overdrive pedal there. Yeah, I kind of started to like that, because now it starts to be but there's a little bit of crackling noise again, so something is hitting the red zone. So let's get down that a little bit. Yeah. Now that already sounds quite decent to me, at least. So the next thing I would just do is, if I'm doing like a lead solo or something like that, I would add a post reverb there. So just go for reverb, GxReverb maybe, stereo one, and I would add that after the convolution, so basically after the cabinet and microphone, as a post effect, like that, like that, like that, and that, and then the GUI. Maybe a little bit too much, but yeah. Anyway, that's basically it. That's a decent, I think, you know, decent tone in Linux using nothing but free plugins. And you know, obviously, the good thing about having or knowing some kind of plugin chain like this is that you can just replicate it in Ardor and you know, basically have full control over the tone easily when you record just dry lines and you know, just experiment with different kind of tones even after recording stuff. So yeah, I really like this, and hopefully there was something useful information here. All of this is just like a baseline, nothing like I just dialed something, you know, out of my head, on the top of my head. So yeah, obviously there can be much better sounds as well and so on. But anyway, I found this somewhat decent. So yeah, I guess mission accomplished. Thank you, and leave a comment if you have something to comment.